that the crisis is so great that we need the help, and that is why we were able to do this. So in short, this is over $100 billion, a robust basket of aid for just about every aspect of New York that has been hurting from COVID. And I believe it will speed up our recovery, it will reduce the number of illnesses and deaths, and it will get so many of our businesses, particularly our smaller businesses, back on track. Okay, did I leave anything out?
Nope. What we're going to do is we're going to do questions on this topic first, and then we'll do the other one.
Okay, questions on this topic. Well, I wanted minimum wage, the $15 minimum wage. Now, we have that here in New York, so I didn't bring that up here. But it's something we will fight for. There were 8 Democrats who did not vote for it. No Republican voted for it. We are going to continue our campaign to get the minimum wage up to $15 nationally. New York already has it.
Senator, the president campaigned on bipartisanship. I know you like to reach across the aisle when possible. What precedent does this set in terms of...
Well, look, we reached out to our Republicans, and some of the legislation here is it has Republican sponsors. The restaurants bill, the first bill, as majority leader, you know, I have the power to determine what's put on the floor. So that gives me a lot of power. I say, if it doesn't have this, or if it does have this, I'm not going to put it on the floor. Now, you have to negotiate, obviously. The first bill I put on the floor, the First Amendment, was a bipartisan bill by Senator Sinema of Arizona. She's a Democrat. Senator Wicker of Mississippi, he's a Republican, to give $25 billion to our restaurants. So we're trying to get bipartisanship in the bill, but I will tell you this. This bill is bipartisan in that a majority of Republican citizens support it. A majority of Democratic citizens, Republican citizens, and independent citizens support this bill and the pieces of it. The Republican senators all voted no. I think they don't understand the needs of the country. And hopefully, now that they've seen we can do it without them, they'll join us and do it with us.
And Newsday asked if you would just say the numbers for Nassau and Suffolk.
Yeah. Okay. Money goes, the state and local money, as you know, is very, very important. And this meets the needs of more than either the mayor or governor of New York said they needed. You know, the bare minimum that they needed. But I made sure that money went directly to localities. All too often, when you give money to the state, our localities don't see it. So New York City will get over $5 billion directly to its coffers, and the mayor is very happy with that. In addition, our counties will each get money, as will our cities, our towns, our villages. And for Nassau County, it's $397 million. For Suffolk County, it's $286 million. We can get, and as I said, for New York City, it's about $5 billion. We can get numbers for Rockland and Westchester and all of those if you need them.
New York City's about 6.
6, okay, a little more than 5.
Senator, if I could ask a transit question.
Well, any other questions from anyone else on this subject? Look, this is an amazing day for New York. As you know, I'm a New Yorker in my bones. I am always going to fight for New York, and I have. Every time we've had a crisis, we've been able to get what New York needs, and I'm glad we were able to do that in this proposal as well.
Given the money the MTA is about to get, they're still contemplating service cuts. Do you think that's a move?
I believe that if they get we've gotten them $8 billion already, $4 billion in March and $4 billion in December. I pushed very hard for that. We're getting them another close to more than $6 billion now, and I believe they will not have to do service cuts as a result of that.
Senator, the other big story in New York, Governor Cuomo, fighting for his political life, beleaguered, you've known him a long time.
Yep.
What's going through your mind regarding...
Well, let me just say this, look, and I've said this. The allegations of each of the women has to be taken seriously. They're deeply troubling. Women have to be listened to. I've long believed, said this for a very long time, that sexual harassment is never acceptable, can never be tolerated. Now, the investigation of these women's allegations, as I said, they're serious. They're being investigated in the very capable hands of the New York State Attorney General. I called for that type of independent investigation, and she is doing it. And I have a lot of faith in her. I believe that she will turn over every stone, and I believe that she will make sure there is no outside interference, political or otherwise. Okay? I can't hear what you're saying, ma'am. I can't, Sure. Oh, good, yes.
He's making a lot of calls for his resignation. Do you think he should step down or not?
Look, I have full faith in the Attorney General's investigation.
Do you trust numbers that he's putting out in regards to the pandemic? Is he trustworthy to you right now?
Look, the numbers we have got in New York in this budget is the numbers we believe they need based on looking at the state budget and everything else.
I'm talking pandemic-related numbers in terms of new cases.
Well, there have been all kinds of allegations about that, and I trust that the state legislature, it's a state issue, will do a thorough investigation of it.
Everybody last Friday, there have been 3 alleged victims out there, and then this weekend 2 more have come forward. Some are saying, had said, more allegations
Yeah,
will
look.
come forward, you must resign. What was kind of your thoughts?
As I said, I have full faith in the Attorney General's investigation.
And that's what we'll wait for.
Yep. Okay?
Okay.
Thank you.
Stimulus bill. What's next? What's the next legislative objective?
The next legislative objective is President Biden's Build Back Better, which is a massive infrastructure bill. It will deal with so many of the infrastructure problems in New York. It will make our subways spanking brand new and deal with all the capital problems they need. It will help us. I'm already working very hard to get the Gateway Tunnel built, so important to New York. But if we have as large an infrastructure bill as I hope, projects like the 2nd Avenue subway and even looking at the subway deserts in Southeast Queens and Southeast Brooklyn would be on the table, dealing with other issues like the BQE and many issues upstate. I-81 in Syracuse, the East River Tunnel, which I've already gotten billions of dollars for. And our infrastructure bill will not just cover infrastructure per se, the traditional. It'll deal with green infrastructure, making sure we have a power grid that brings clean energy. And in addition, it will, I believe, and will fight for a massive influx into New York's public housing infrastructure, as well as our schools to modernize them. It will be a large, large bill. This bill is, the bill we passed yesterday is aimed at rescue, getting us out of the hole we're in. But the infrastructure bill is aimed at getting the economy going to the level it was before 2000, our economy grew much faster. There were many more new jobs, and wages went up at a much greater rate than they did after 2000. We want to go back to that old rate, and one of the best ways to do it is green, clean, strong infrastructure. Okay? Ma'am, apologize.
The COVID bill goes back to the House Tuesday, then the president.
Yes, I have every confidence that Speaker Pelosi will sign, that the House will pass the bill, and that the President will sign the bill, and I'm hopeful we can have a nice signing ceremony sometime this week.